Okay, I did what I needed to. Okay. And now I can eat my food. Why, Korea? Why? How many colas did I order? 4? Jesus Christ, why did I order 4 colas? I'm gonna drink them all anyway, but Jesus Christ, Robin. 와, 맛있겠다. So excited. I love Bob.
Welcome back, everybody. There is one spot left in that playoffs, and it's going to come down to EDG or T1. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm joined by Mimi and Kakuka. I didn't think that it was going to come down to these teams, Kakuka, but here we are.
I think it's very exciting because I think that in every single event, we have 1 or 2 teams giving us that big story that everybody has eyes on, and I think it could be either of these 2 teams.
Yeah, both of them have already made a run that has surprised people. Both of them have already broken their expectations. And the thing is that either way, if either of these teams make it into the playoffs, it will be
We have a story. We have a headline.
There's too many stories, I feel like. This is a rematch. We have seen this matchup already in this tournament, and the last time we saw a Mimi, it went to the way of T1, but marginally went to the way of T1.
Yeah, this is one of the craziest games already in the groups between these two. It was a 2-1 victory for T1, but they just only barely got it over the line. It was a 14-12 win on versus EDG.
Something like that.
And it looked like for EDG, it was going to be the same story as always, where they get knocked down to lower bracket in heartbreaking way, and it all falls apart. But they've really been able to recover despite losing this first time.
And we've been talking about T1 and the improvement that they've had as a team and as a squad, but as you're
that
saying,
is spicy.
it was not a comfortable win. And of course, coming into this rematch, the story for this 2 is changed a bit. T1 are coming from a loss. EDG is coming from beating Navi. Of course, you know, Navi has not been what we expected this tournament and what many people thought they were going to be at the beginning of this year, but they just beat, for the first win, a team that has won a Masters event.
Yeah, it's crazy that they were able to pull it off. And that first matchup as well that they played, it really, I think, showed the depth that these teams have, that they can play that slower style on their attacking side to really bring out the strategy that people wouldn't have expected looking at these teams' names and their past success, but also can still dive into that chaos and show the prowess of their individuals.
I'm glad you mentioned that because the momentum is so important. We saw what it can do for teams. China's first win for EDG, but in this rematch, I do want to bring out a stat because Kakuka, traditionally at international tournaments, the team that loses the first matchup have a 67% chance of winning the second one. So it's looking good for EDG.
You love the hope here.
I love it. I love it.
Definitely, but it's the story. Just imagine if we had EDG not only making it to playoffs, but actually having a miraculous run throughout the entire tournament. Even if just for making playoffs, I would say most people would say it is enough.
Yeah, and look at the emotion on their face. That was first off of their loss against T1, where it was again that heartbreak that they have felt so many times, making it to 2 international events before this one and always pushing it so close. But then they come out, they play incredible versus Navi, and it invigorates them. And for Kung Kung, in the post-match interview, he said that for his team and for Chinese Valorant as a whole, that this is just a start. It's just a beginning for them.
Yeah, it was a very cold quote from Kong Kong there. You know, he's not satisfied with just one win. He wants it all. We've spoken to him a few times, and he's just like, I don't even want to be China's #1. I want to be the world's #1.
He has such a big personality, and I'm so happy that he's able to translate that into the server. He's an operator demon, and we love to see it.
Yeah, and also we saw a lot of the heroic moments, Mimi, that EDG were pulling out against Na'Vi, the individual brilliance. And if they pull that out again today,
Yeah, I mean, they could just win it. It was ridiculous, the stuff they were doing. It looked like in so many moments that Na'Vi was going to be able to rally back, and at every chance, EDG had a player who stepped up, and more times than not, it was Kung Kung with the ridiculous plays on the operator or on the blades, but it really was a team effort. Everyone had their moment in this match.
I loved Smoggy, for example. He was, I think, had a major role in what happened yesterday, and maybe it's again that situation where teams underestimate their opponents, or maybe think that, you know, they can ego peek into them and it's going to be fine because, you know, you have Seketsu, you have Shao. Those kind of things usually go your way. It didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah, and what's insane is that stat as well. 44 of their rounds, they had a multi-kill in. They had 9 clutches across that series, and it was a 2-0. It was all these crazy hero plays. Keep them in.
yeah, speaking of the teamwork, Kung Kung himself said nobody and Falcon was the ones that also helped them mentally push it over the line. And speaking of nobody, I had a catch up with him earlier outside the arena. Hello, ni hao, nobody, 欢迎回来, welcome back. Now, yesterday was a really important game that you guys won. How much confidence does it give you going into today's game?
因为昨天你们获得了这个赛季的首胜嘛，非常厉害。想问一下，对于小组赛出现这件事，包括今天这场比赛，你们有多大的信心呢？
其实我们是上一次是输给了 T1，但是其实我们一直很有信心，然后赢了Na'Vi之后，会使我们信心倍增，所以我觉得我们今天是必胜的。
Definitely yes. I think for yesterday's matchup, maybe we made a little mistakes, but we figured it out. And after we win Na'Vi, and it definitely gave us confidence for today's matchup. I think we're gonna win today.
Well, thank you very much. 谢谢，加油。Well, he is confident. I mean, you are going to be confident after beating Na'Vi, but the fact of the matter is, Mimi, T1, they beat them once already, so they have that for them behind them.
That is true, and T1, after beating EDG, went on to play NRG incredibly close in that upper bracket. People thought that this team might just roll over versus a stronger squad like NRG, but they were able to compete with them not just strategically, but also in the individual performance.
Yeah, but also I think that they need to reflect now that they're in this position. Of course, the mental is not the same, and also I feel like the pressure is way more on them, way more on T1, because they were expected to perform and not repeat that same situation where rounds are literally that close.
And they have a chance to do something special here. They have a second chance at it. Ever since Masters Reykjavik, the only Korean team to ever make it out of groups and make it to playoffs at an international event has been DRX. And for T1, this is their opportunity to be the first time in forever that Korea has a second team that can compete at the top level internationally.
And it would definitely be the highlight, because even though DRX just qualified, it's kind of something that everybody expected, but the fashion in which it happened, it didn't give them that boost. Everybody's going to be speaking and talking about T1 if they manage to make it today.
I mean, you mentioned the NRG matchup already. What did you see from that one? Did you feel like maybe they could have qualified down that route already?
I think they could have. I think it came down to kind of a lack of depth in the map pool later in. But in the first half on Lotus in particular, I was really impressed with how they were calling on their attacking side. During that halftime interview, Autumn was talking about how much emphasis he put with this team on prepping their attack against NRG's generally weaker defense. And they did it in being able to constantly exploit the fact that NRG was so passive after initially failing with these really aggressive plays, and their mid-round decision-making was great against a team that we're normally talking about being the best in the world at mid-round.
Do you feel like what we saw from T1 against NRG Bear is enough for them to beat the EDG we saw yesterday?
No, but I do think that as well as I was talking about the pressure, it's about the fact that you have to play several days in a row. You have to prove that you have the resilience, the making the mistakes and actually learning from them in a very short period of time. This is all that international events is about.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because learning from their mistakes. Kung Kung, he gave T1 a run for their money last time, and this is what Ban had to say about how they plan to deal with him today. Ban, hi, come and join me. Hello, today's a very, very important game for you guys. It's a rematch. Last time, I think Kung Kung was doing very, very, very well against you guys, caused you a lot of problems. How do you plan to shut him down today?
I think we're going to use your utility very well today to shut him down.
Holy shit, his English is really good.
I think I'll do the trick.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, thank you very much, man. Best of luck. They are going to shut Kong down today. I think he even said it was going to be easy.
Good luck.
Whatever. Mimi, do you believe that?
I don't think it's ever going to be easy to shut down Kong. What he was doing yesterday was absolutely absurd. And in the first match between these two, he was diffing Saya in the opening kills. Kong has been so consistent.
Well, that would make sense on why his English is good. He was part of Luminosity. Haha, he was part of LG.
Confidence. I feel like he's the kind of player that if you're going to duel him time and time again, he will only feel more comfortable doing so because he's going to be successful most of the times. Do you remember when we had Benkai here and he was saying, hey, we know if we're playing against DRX, we just dodge Mako wherever he is? I feel like with Kong is literally the same situation.
The thing about Kong though is that he can be so proactive, especially in the later parts of these games. He's the guy who is stepping up, who is making that play to push them over the line. And I mean, yesterday he was going crazy as well. He started off playing the Jet, and then he switches over to playing Gecko, and the guy is still opping, still finding the same value and finding insane clips. It's just absurd the performance he's having.
This is the thing though, Kong is getting better, Kakuka, somehow. Yes. They couldn't shut him down last time. I don't know, I'm a little bit worried.
He's getting the momentum, he's getting it forward.
Yeah.
I feel like the duty here for Saya is actually finding his place in the round and actually the duties that he has to take. For example, if you feel like that first duel is not going to be easy, just go for a deeper run. Just go for a very much harder execute where you can shine in the mid round, where you don't have to be necessarily the first one going in, so those heroics can actually shine.
And I think this game will be defined by these two players. On their attacking sides, both squads really like starting these rounds slower, oftentimes picking up the attack side operator and putting a lot of emphasis in getting that opening pick with the off that they can mid-round through. The thing is, that's how they want to start, but it will also oftentimes end in chaos where these two, again, have to step up and close rounds for their team.
Do you guys think we're going to see the same maps today from the rematch?
It could be. It's likely because of how close every single map was, it makes sense.
Well, let's find out because our coaches are ready for map select, and let's see if we're gonna head to the same maps today.
Okay, let's get started. T1, you're a higher seed because you come from the upper bracket of your group. Do you want Team A or Team B? Team A. Okay, so we'll start with T1, your first band. A band split, your band. Ascent, map number 1. Fracture, side on fracture. Attack, map number 2. Haven, side on Haven. Defense. Okay, we're gonna go to the next set of bands starting with T1. You have Bind, Lotus, and Pearl. A band Bind, Lotus, and Pearl. And Pearl, map number 3 will be Lotus, side on Lotus. Defense. Okay, we're gonna run through this really quick. First set of bands, we have T1 with Split, EDG with Ascent. Map number 1 is Fracture with EDG on Attack. Map number 2 is Haven with T1 on Defense. Next set of bands are Bind and Pearl. Map number 3 will be Lotus with T1 on Defense. Good? Alright, good luck to you both, guys.
This is it, a do or die fight for the final spot at playoffs here at Masters Tokyo, and it comes down to T1 and EDG. No matter what happens,
that's spicy.
it will be a historical moment. This is the thing though, Mimi. We have a peculiar matchup where I don't know if one team is even necessarily the favorites.
I don't think there is a favorite in this one, and I think the first match between the two proved it. It came down to a third map in overtime for T1 to get it across the line. But since then, EDG, they've gone to the lower bracket. They've broken through their story. They beat Na'Vi. They have their first international win. And Now someone just has to stop them.
And EDG wants to make this right. We have seen the map veto. The two first maps are going to be the same as last time. If they're going to make it out of groups, it has to be the direct improvement from what happened last time and actually being able to get those closing maps for them.
And for two teams who've only just gotten their first win at an international event, this is where the pressure is on to prep for a rematch. It's hard in these group stages. You're playing match after match, day after day. You don't have a lot of time to turn around a new idea. And that's what they're going to have to do there, especially since it is the same first two maps, like you were saying.
Honestly, they had me. I thought maybe we were going to get Pearl, but EDG were the ones to choose not to go to Pearl despite overcoming their demons on Pearl.
Maybe they think that they have become too readable. Maybe they think that they cannot improve much on the map. Maybe they don't enjoy the meta, probably. Or they think that they have a better chance. If everything is going to come to a third map, let it be a new one.
It's going to be interesting if we do get there, but we're starting the series on a perfect rematch here of Fracture, which for T1, this is where they play their double duelist comp. They looked electric versus EDG in that first game. And EDG on the other side are running that solo duelist comp with the Jet, where they're putting a lot of emphasis on Kung Kung. And I think they kind of struggled to deal with it, especially the Flood retakes that were really good out of T1.
I mean, let's have a look at the Prime Gaming agents. So, like, you guys mentioned the double duelist already versus Kong, but it was Saya Kakuka on this map that came on top, despite Kong kind of coming online later on.
I think that it brings you the flexibility to have to duel this, especially when you're going against a team that is very execute heavy, that has all the support building up for Kankan. If you want the flexibility to be supportive in different parts of the map and definitely make it fast, that double duelist relieves a lot of the pressure and just playing a single one.
It absolutely does, but for EDG, this comp actually lets them slow it down a little bit more sometimes on this Fracture. You have a lot of cancel options with this double initiator, with those two abilities in the stun and the flash that are going to be recharging in the mid-round. So EDG, a lot of options with this one. We'll have to see if it will be a different outcome.
Well, the last one was a giga banger, and I have no doubt this one is going to be as well. As we head into map 1 with your casters for today, it is Pansy and Hypok.
I couldn't ask for a better situation here, Mike. We get a rematch between these two. And it was a bloodbath before, right? Let's not mince our words with this. That was absolutely insane. Now, they've both taken different routes to get back to this point, however. We've come back to one thing that's at least a similarity, which is the map pool. So what do we make of it, seeing this look similar?
This is interesting. I'm not sure if EDG just come away kind of want to stick to, obviously, what they know of. I mean, the bands are the same. Haven's the one that kind of sticks out for me, though. And again, obviously talking map 2 first, but that second half of Haven for T1 did not look good at all. They relied on the recovery factor, obviously bounced back into the decider, yes, but Fracture's one that actually, I think in terms of form, and the big highlight for me, obviously being Kang, Smolk yesterday was absolutely bonkers throughout that series. So if he actually has a little bit of a swing up here, we could see a different result on Fracture in my eyes.
Yeah, living a little in the shadow of the Colossus, but it's completely reasonable when you've got a superstar in the making on your side. I think he's turned attentions around the world. For Kong, that guy is absolutely incredible.
Man of the hour.
Truly, truly. Now, is that just going to be a group stage performance that turns some heads, or will it make it to the playoffs? We're going to find out now. T1 going to kick things off on that defending side, and of course that then means EDG get to dictate that pace on the attack.
Slow start actually from EDG. Do have a little bit of pressure from Chichu towards Arcade, potentially when contact comes through here. Science going to be able to... Yeah, the same is because there's not going to be two. Well, I was going to say EDG. Forced away by the smoke, actually. A big gap towards A site. But no control of Dish as of yet. EDG just invest all in towards main here.
T1 feeling no necessity to move just yet. Not going to bring that additional player back towards 8. A lot towards Munchkin. His capability here. He's posted up on it. Does have a turret as well. That should be ringing the alarm bell. Smoke soon to follow as well. Just going to be littering the side. This will be instantly a retake. It's more kind of looking towards the likes of Chichu maybe to try and find something here. Again, this shouldn't be a problem just yet.
I was going to say, how late does Chichu actually sit on this? Because Munchkin's coming to hard clear. And he's so deep here. He's going to find Chichu completely unaware, but still gets the kill.
That's unbelievable. Now T1.
Wow.
Nothing. Nobody takes down 2. Maybe even 3 actually. Tell a lie. And it's left Ban with everything in front of him. 4 players to try and locate. That fumble up by Dish could definitely haunt them here. I'm feeling almost it's impossible. Just being chipped away at by Smoggy. You keep everyone else holding that cross. EDG.
Wow.
Got everything they wanted on that start.
It doesn't really come down to much, but Munchkin, with a good read on the situation, obviously, to come through and remove that possibility of EDG having a little more control on the north side, but this swing through the smoke, 3 players of T1 fall as they try to collapse on Sands. Unfortunate turn of events here. Looks like T1 might even be stacking up to get a little bit aggressive.
What are they bringing in? I'm only seeing a Sheriff so far for ban, and that's it, so...
Just going to stun off and try to swing this.
Do well on the stun.
Smoggy.
Okay, well. This round's
Damn.
all over, isn't it? Xayah, player just sitting up towards the site, gonna hear these steps. How much damage can one man do? Smoggy is low, so I guess there's a chance he could do something towards that. Plant's gonna come in. That's now down. Smoggy get caught up here. Already 2 big kills. There it is. First, any more? No, not to be. So EDG keeping it clean, but T1 were willing to brawl on it.
Trying to get something done here early on, but EDG previously, I mean actually versus T1 as well, constantly stacked up. Chichu, yes, disconnecting.
Oh, it felt great to stretch my legs.
It'll be difficult for T1 to really get anything going in that regard.
I'm scared of seeing Smoggy's ult so close, but and especially on a map like Fracture, that feels like a given. Try and do that in the bonus. That's going to put T1 right under the gun now.
That lineup is ridiculous.
Wow.
T1 stacked up outside, well, towards A main here. EDG creeping in dish. Not going to be any utility here with Munchkin rotating across towards B site. Xayah has deep control towards main. Trailblazer ready to go as soon as the smoke drops, I imagine.
Trying to fold on this. Pink shell to go through, but it's a 1-1 trade out. Can they escape in time? And here comes the pressure from the other side. Dropping down by Dish. Sight's going to be theirs. EDG looking to try and retake this fight. Zeta, though, lovely little hold there. Going to try and keep some composure, but look who's hunting him. Gunkang already there. Makes light work of one, and the follow-up from Smoggy makes this comfortable. As T1
Damn, EDG is crushing it right now.
Perfectly. The crunch to follow as well. T1 looking for miracles from Munchkin. He's got a clear sight first, and the cross will be watched too. No utility, spotted, chipped down, dealt with. EDG converting bonus too.
A huge financial cushion now created. I think even previously, I believe Kankang, we saw that Bladestorm round 2 orb farm. It was a similar situation to start off the first half here, but a round in hand. T1 tried to get a little proactive, and even though I was saying it before this round, they actually identify the weaker side of this default. But the pinch comes through perfectly. EDG just flood out of drop all the way into the backside of main. There's nothing really T1 can do in that situation.
T1 left shattered a little here. Seeing Stingers, Marshall, Sheriffs, bits and bobs. Be a rough one to try and do some damage on.
Well, last time, I believe we saw T1 revert very quickly back towards just focus on retakes.
Point cake.
Whether or not this is the same sort of thing they're going to test early on. Light investment here, Stingers, some Sheriffs, and a Marshall, but...
Chichu's timing here. Munchkin once again. Yeah, feeling a little bit of that. Again, they are on a bit of a half buy, if anything. Gonna deny the initial plant, that's not bad. Maybe allow that smoke to dissipate slightly further, give them a chance to do some damage on the way back out from it. This time though, plant goes in. Smoke should be fading soon enough, but for now they at least get a little bit of cover to play behind EDG.
So actually, what damage is possible here to go? Carpe tagged up, Kankang going to swing onto this fight too.
One enemy remains.
Just a formality at this point. On clean-up duty, there will be a Prime Gaming flawless here. I believe we did see a very early timeout as well from T1. And like I said, that was when you saw the switch. Conceding a lot of space, they didn't want to get proactive and to stack up, play numbers in a replay.
Gotta start seeing a little bit more from T1 here. Feeling like the understatement of the century, but they haven't been particularly doing much damage either. So far, side player 2 kills and he's leading the board. So need to get a little more active in this one. EDG kind of walking through the matchup so far. Converting the bonus obviously is the dream effect. Having that ult ready to go in that time, also fantastic. See what they bring in this time around. EDG slow and cautious to challenge towards A. This puts a lot on balance.
I want cake, but I want like red velvet cake.
He's fairly committed as well. Very deep position. EDG looking to slow things down. What's an anticipation of T1 flipping the switch and getting a little more aggressive? I mean, it is the heavier stack this side, but man, swings up to 2, Kang will punish.
And that's the first pick found, and still above a minute.
So many options.
Exactly, yeah, that's a great outcome for EDG. The patience going to pay off here.
I've got your
And we know they can play that fast pace if
I want
necessary.
cake.
So Renee's going to really slow down.
But
The
there's
ability
no
to swing
place that
off the
sells
back of those Seekers,
cake.
but they're still going to try and forge that path through. Munchkin forced to rescind quite far back. He could be hunted down here, but Chichu actually just missing that window of opportunity, but he could catch Sire player potentially. Could continue along that path, but with the spike now down, T1, let's see if they look better
Looks
in these
good.
retakes. Already Zeta going to find Howdong. That's not a bad beginning.
Sorry, should swing onto this. Yeah, Chichu actually able to get away, and a little bit of a
Oh,
missed
my hands are
opportunity. Lauren.
comfy.
Certainly is. But look who's on the site. Not anymore. Massive from Zeta. That's a big step. More. They've got it. Munchkin to find nobody. They're doing exactly what they needed. The change up here from T1, seeing a little deeper, even after losing out that first player. Diffuse is already towards
Aftershock
halfway. Nothing to deny it now. Beautiful. Excellent
There you
round
go.
from Zeta. And exactly what the doctor ordered for T1. Mike, I think they heard you there. Changing up for that retake rather than those early challenges, maybe excluding ban.
I was going to say, yeah, and this is after conceding the first blood. The aftershock seemed a million miles off here from Swoggy. Very strange to see, but T1 on the back of Zeta execute this game plan perfectly. Curious if that's actually now something T1 will latch onto. Problem being, Kang now has an operator and the Blade Storm available.
Yeah, this guy is terrifying. I think we all know that by now. Have to see what he can achieve in this. That slow start does give him a little more room to play as well. I doubt Ban's going to be readdressing any of that aggression he ran with last round, and that's a very early investment of the ult. And it's all for nobody. Who's come out of this and still standing, still just fine. Hold on! This is a mistake from T1, almost losing everything. And while this happened, they took towards the site. EDG looking towards the B side already. A little bit of a trade, yes, but they get themselves Spike ready in hand. Maybe a plant to be tested soon. And a player advantage at this point is massive as well.
There we go.
Carpe left to try and recover this. So we've got some utility to work with. Tapping the spike. Molly will land. It won't force Chichu out of position though. Still a safe plant.
Spike planted.
So I'm looking at the timing for Kung at this point, but Zeta going to take those first couple of steps. He wants to go quick. Try and get ahead of the lockdown, and he can't. Chichu greets him with a smile. Kang will lose his life, but it's Chichu on the counter swing to be just perfectly positioned. EDG, again, answering back here.
And again, Sire spots nobody here outside Dish, and very quickly T1 make a decision to try and isolate him with the Rolling Thunder, but I don't think either player actually positions anti-flash, which means nobody actually punishes on the back of that investment, on the back of further T1 aggression.
I'm a little worried seeing T1 here. I want to see a timeout soon. If they can't correct now, I want to see the pumping of the brakes.
I mean, you got lots of tools now, obviously Rolling Thunder invested, but everything else available. Storm up here for Ban, but removed immediately.
That's heartbreak for Ban. He is being bullied around this map. There's so many players waiting for this.
Flash through.
Anything? Okay. It's still favourable traits for EDG. They still hold 4 to 3. Munchkin, oh, you're very fortunate to be standing. Chichu waiting, foiled. Oh, it's just perfect. EDG are outclassing T1 in this. Looking a little behind the curve. Carpe and Zeta need to try and get a move on if they want to try and catch him in the heels, but the opportunity's dwindled already. The plant's going to be theirs. The plant's going to be on their side.
EDG are just so quick to react. Set up some of these pinches. I think T1 are feeling like, because Kang has the operator, that's where the stack is, the heavier side of this default. Which is why they look to get aggressive outside Dish, but It's another example of EDG almost baiting T1 into a false sense of security. And I'm with you. We need to see a timeout. We do need to see an adjustment.
This is T1's pick. If you're just tuning in, didn't see the veto. Fracture was their first choice, really. This is what they've led towards, feeling this was their best opportunity. And EDG is about swinging. This has looked extremely comfortable. If we're kind of talking, you know, let's say consideration from last game to this one when they were faced off, the one in between, EDG, if not, look, you know, fantastic. They're much better. Confidence is there. We can kind of discuss the idea of, you know, how's that momentum going to look? How's that confidence going to look? It suits them beautifully. Cutting a fantastic figure with them now. Money swelled to a brilliant point. I'm looking for the timeout. I think it's come in for T1 here. They still have a lot of kit to play with, at least in the form of the ults. So they could have something to lean into here. But it's not just that. It's
These rounds aren't getting to the point where ults become the deciding factor for T1 there. I believe last time they actually won out in terms of their defensive half on First Bloods. Now this, a stark contrast to that. And I gotta say, there's some situations where, reminiscent of Pearl, where there's not much utility invested towards these openers. Sire's not necessarily supported. Ban, unfortunately, getting slapped about in terms of opening peaks here.
Ban's on 0 to 7 currently. And look, sometimes you have a bad game. That's what it is. But you want to see him doing a little bit more than that. Again, kind of when we first looked towards T1 as a team, we kind of discussed how Ban was that confidence player. Him having this start is actually extremely worrying. This could really hinder his progress going forward. This could be something we look at. Does this continue throughout the series? Does he get a nice little change up? Does that mental get switched into effect later on? Beyond that, but to be completely honest though, I wouldn't say this is just a Ban having a bad map, being completely influential to the outcome. Everyone from T1 is struggling to find impact here against EDG. This has to be a whole ethos rework, complete change up here. Let's see what the timeout has achieved. So they're going to go back in with a little bit of kit, not fully situated, but looking like they're going to try and buy around whatever they can.
Yeah, Bulldog in the hands of Munchkin. Rifles to Cyan Ban. It's a Sheriff here for Zeta, and that's just a full shield for Carpe.
It's just drifting.
He's literally just walking up to challenge the smoke. I mean, Sire luckily has read it with the boombot. I don't know if maybe he saw something on the edge of that smoke, maybe a mini-map ping, but again, it's just one player of EDG. Yeah. Look how much respect he is commanding on the mini-map. There's 4 people here from T1.
Oh my god, I love being sick.
A little bit, they started to consider that rotation, opening back from CT, but see how close EDG are to just kind of springboarding onto that B site. Kankang already started those first couple of tentative steps, but we know the player who's here on the other side. This will be Munchkin. Sat pretty deep. No one's actively challenging this.
Maybe looking for a retake here of the showstopper, the orbital strike, and the lockdown. This doesn't come through just yet.
Wow, they're wow.
Kankang wants this pick. Waits for 3, pulls the trigger, doesn't get anyone on the other side. There's the lockdown. So they have a lot of tools here, Mike. Do they get the chance to even?
Nobody's reflanking.
This is dirty.
He's coming back towards spawn.
This is dirty work.
Molly will buy time here while the lockdown goes out. Chichu has 2 nanoswarms, but nobody is aware of this.
How much can this one man do? He's closing the gap. They're going to be crossing towards the side. Kankang is holding them in position. The flank's going to be there in a moment's time. There it is. Between the two of them, it's deadly. Now Sideplayer and Munchkin have no good options. So
wow.
And none of them falling. EDG are just miles ahead of T1.
The perfect storm, honestly. The timing here of the molly, I don't even know when the penny drops for nobody. To reflank back through Dish there. But nobody from T1 considered the possibility. Just so happens, Kankang will still go. I mean, he's good for 3. Still in this situation. Yeah, EDG in total control.
That was kind of a half buy, so I guess, but still they invested behind it. This is the buy that they're going to be hopefully making some impact on the board. We have the operator out for Ban. Need to see T1 come online because this is tragic so far. Bullied around this map.
One thing EDG are really good at, in terms of early round indicators, they're so good at switching up who takes first contact, who shows first presence. So T1 are left scratching their heads of where Kankang is. Where's the operator?
Look at the amount of freedom he's got
Yeah.
there as well. Even the fact that he's got this far with feeling no pressure certainly gives you a couple of answers to the questions you may have. And T1 sitting a little deeper. They do have a player watching it. Bloody hell!
He's so quick.
He's actually nuts, isn't he? A real treat to watch throughout all of the games. Ban now has to be prepared. I'm going to force him off the angle. Has to fall away. The pace has just changed here. They're allowing time for Kankang just to take those steps around the map. He's got that first pick again. They are down to about 35 seconds though, so they will have to lean in towards one of these two sites.
I mean, T1 have the correct read here though, that Kankang's found the pick, and they're going to drift back towards B, but this B site setup will be tested once again. And Sireplay just none the wiser.
Oh, but Munchkin is on the case this time, going to find two. 17 seconds now. Spike not on the site. This could be the first big round for T1 to win in some time. But Carpe wants to do it himself. 10 seconds now. Fall down to Chichu, and this is tough. Ban still standing. Munchkin just around the corner. Spike's down. And so is Chichu. T1 finally get another on the board.
How many of those sorts of rounds though can T1 pull off? And they have to win a couple more to chip away at this cushion that EDG have. And Carpe goes huge here with the walk out of the smoke. Rewarded with 2, but again, bigger picture. Is that sustainable? Is that the sort of game that T1 want to play here on Fracture?
Someone hurt. She's hurt.
Still got the showstopper, still got the orbital strike. But EDG building back into a couple of big ultimates themselves. One off the lockdown as well.
Look at this again, nobody trying to sell him something over towards A, but I'm looking at Kankang here trying to make progress. Arcade the first port of call. Wanting to take any of that.
I didn't. Yo.
How deep does Kankang actually go here? There's no second peek behind Munchkin. Ban has his sights set towards main. Looks like EDG are actually stacking up here to pop on the back of this.
Well, Ban's done well. And actually Munchkin does incredibly well, still to find one. Takes down Haldong, that's not bad. Ban starting to activate a little, needs to fall away, has to go up the site. EDG gonna take a little bit of that room the other side. Now,
nobody's creeping on this.
Yeah, hold on. It is a beautiful flash.
When did you get
Ban
closer?
gets punished.
Go back there.
Lingering just a little
Go
bit
back
further
over there.
ahead. Sireplay.
No, why are you moving?
Like, not gorgeous adjustment. Nobody's gone down. But it is this man, the one and only, standing tall and taking one. Falls away. Finds safety. He's going to dip back in. He wants a bit of it, doesn't he? You can tell he wants it.
There we go.
He's waiting though. 2 already this round. We'll need 4. Here's the steps. And waits. And waits. And waits.
I was like, why does it look like my camera's so fucking close?
Move him. Give T1 a little bit of a window.
Even in that situation there, nobody's happy to get aggressive on that smoke, paying no respect to T1.
Still looks close. Why?
And even here, Ban digging pretty deep actually.
There we go.
To find this kill onto Chichu. 7-3 now.
Fixed it.
Again, well,
like, why does it look so close?
200 credits now overall, but
It
still
made no
big
sense to
ultimates work
me.
with. Should be pretty comfortable for the next. I'm curious actually of what adjustment we see coming out of this timeout.
Yeah. One away from the lockdown for Munchkin, that could be something to keep in mind throughout this, but yeah, they still have a good couple of results to play with. Haven't seen much chance to really use them at this point, so might be able to bring something out. I'm looking at Kankang actually not seeing them run the operator here. Might have switched that out. Again, this is during the timeout, so maybe discussing their options.
Yeah, potentially here to make use of Rolling Thunder, and actually they want to get
Behind.
Kankang now deep onto site. Maybe leans towards looking back at A side potentially.
Back on the operator.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just.
They talked him out of it.
Yeah, we did see him kind of switch away from it. I think it was like an OT, and it felt like, oh, if only he'd stuck on it. But yeah, sticking on the operator there, it feels like they were maybe considering, as you highlighted, working with one of those ults, maybe a little bit more pacey, but he feels he can still be as influential with that operator, sure.
I will say that obviously playing the rifle in this round does protect that round 12 purchase, so
True.
have to see what gap there is, if any, after this.
Yeah, big investment, but a player behind it, so see what he can do for it. Starters, a little bit of noise made towards B, flash there.
Yeah, strange actually, because the Stimby can be down by Howdong. Trying to fake heavy presence here towards B site and fake off this lockdown, but Carpe will be able to remove it.
Actually, just seeing Carpe kind of drift back towards A as well. I think they're reading this quite nicely.
Absolutely, and look at Ban's position as well. He's all the way out of Dish.
But it will be a retake. There's no way they challenge on this, right? I'm not worried if they drift further committed towards the side, but no, they're going to keep this one a little in check, allow EDG those precious steps towards the side to get the plant down on A. Kang just going to be on that defensive duty, trying to watch anyone trying to peek through that smoke. Oof. Lucky to be alive.
Howdong does burn up the molly as well. It's curious to
I
see
got
if
my
he actually resets all
desserts, my cookies, basically.
No way,
And I see my bag is wet, and I'm like, why the fuck is my bag wet, dude? Like, what the fuck? I look outside and it's pouring rain. Like, it's pouring right now. Holy shit. That would make sense on why my bag is wet.
Howdong still on the side, did get healed up, so he's still holding a good bit of ground. Couldn't get the other fight. It's all down to that wrap, that flank, that Chichu position. Halfway achieved. Munchkin trying to play the time, trying to play the man, and Ban gonna keep him dead in this. Lovely work from T1. A much different approach into this now.
Great read on the fake, and as well, what worked for them last time was setting up for these retakes and having bodies to throw at it. Finally see the showstopper invested as well. Didn't amount to much, but did a lot of space, and luckily Ban actually regroups here with the rest of T1. Not punished by this reflank from Chichu. 3 unanswered. Going to last, again, because of the plant. We have to get rifles across the board here. EDG.
They take the shit out of this.
With a chance, but doesn't catch nobody.
Here though,
What's tough here is if T1 feel as if they want to lean towards the attack, that one potentially has hardly any order strike here.
These are supposedly my cookies. And they're s'mores, supposedly.
Kang gonna get towards the site. Overwhelmed. Munchkin's gone down. Now he looks at who else is here. Dire player. Only good for one. It's actually Kang to get him too. So
They're giant, dude. So they're like little cookies. This one's like a s'mores one though, because it's Oreos. Got a s'mores one and 2 red velvets. I like red velvet.
Only Zeta and Ban left to try and recover now. Couple of flashes to work with, but Zeta stuck on an operator. A tall order, Lauren.
Not easy at all. Ban gonna try and get across towards the site maybe. But the flashes are there. And so's this man. He wants to end it in style. Get this half done with. Oh, okay. Smoggy's got him. Don't worry. Smoggy's there. So a little bit of a kind of reminder of EDG's, I guess, capability of pace towards the end there. But it felt like this half was just 2 streaks. Yes, I'd say EDG came out the better of that, of course, with 8 rounds to their name, but kind of hot and cold a little throughout this.
I mean, thank God T1 got 4, to be honest. Very one-sided affair to start things off. But a massive lead for EDG to work with moving into the second half. I mean, last time this was 6-6.
Very different look between these two now. EDG maybe keeping that momentum in mind, working their way forward. This is looking much better from them, at least if you're looking pound for pound in that previous matchup. But that's our thoughts. What about the desk?
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypok. Yes, a massive improvement. And Kukuka, a lot of that came down to some of the cool nitty-gritties we saw from EDG.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to take a look at one of the rounds that we saw from them, especially round number 3. This is a bonus for them. So if we jump into it right away, I wanted to show how this round is all about the assisting. It's all about the control that comes from the other side. Actually, it's a round that revolves around Smoggy. He's one orb away from having his ultimate, and that is something that we can see just setting up how they want to play this round. We can see in the minimap that they're already moving towards Dish to grab that orb. From then on, they can choose what to do. They can decide how they're going to go onto the side. From the side of T1, though, we see that they're already ready to just have some pressure on A-hole to prevent this kind of thing from happening, knowing that your breach is playing from sand. This is a play that we've seen time and time again. And if we play the clip, we can see how all of this is going to unravel. We see that they've put this smoke that is going to, you know, not allow EDG to have that vision, and the support is going to come through. EDG gets that orb, that ult is going to be ready for Smoggy, and all this utility dumping comes from the other side, comes from T1. That second stun that we're seeing here, supporting EDG from mid-map, is from Smoggy. They're already running onto side. The plant is going to be secured, and it is a very clean round. And that is so important because getting the bonus grants you that economical superiority and also comfort moving into the rest of the half.
And I think that's what defined EDG's play in that first half, was their reactions and how good they were from this squad. But T1 did rally back, and it came down to their retakes. At the first part of the half, they were too heavily committing to playing on site and really getting punished by those executes. And when they were going for those forward plays, getting punished as well. But the retakes were working. They found the adaptation. The question is, do they have another answer into the second half?
Yeah, and the question is for EDG, Pansy and Hypok, can they close this one out convincingly?
I think that little caveat at the end there, Sue, is actually quite important, is convincingly. Yes, this is T1's map pick, but with 4 rounds, I'm not loving what we've seen from them so far. Yes, there was a little bit of a resurgence towards the end, but overall, it wasn't ideal. However, EDG, a little more convincing in their current form.
Sure, and EDG are actually demonstrating here they can slow down the tempo and still work the map on a macro level that really T1 are unable to find a response to. Kang here. Maybe a minimap moment there. He's looking elsewhere, but Smoggy there to back him up.
Yeah. Gonna keep themselves healthy in this with 4 to the 3. The remaining 3 held back behind the smoke. This is gonna be a horrible way out. Smoggy turns the flash just perfectly.
Jesus Christ.
From Smoggy, and EDG will be grinning with that one.
Very quickly a chance for EDG to get themselves onto double digits here. Clean work from Smoggy. I'm curious of, in terms of the early round, if T1 are happy to try and identify the whereabouts of Kang, maybe wait out some utility here, or they're happy to just stack up and go for some of these executes. Again, pistol round, not necessarily an indicator for how the buy rounds will go. 4 people across the dish here. Maybe want to set the tone, or at least imply that there's going to be heavy pressure here.
I don't think anyone cared,
No,
though.
no.
He's like, cool, I'll put a flash there. Nice. That's about all they did. Second flash, we'll identify side player. I don't know how many obviously are behind that. And T1 not being particularly subtle, just maybe taking the tour for the orbs if they can. That'll be maybe on the list. Munchkin, gotta be cautious here, could easily go down. But now he's just gonna try and play on that corner. See who's prowling on the other side. Kang is there. Just about to drift away though, not really feeling that presence. And the second attempt at drawing attention towards Dish is going to warrant a response. Smoggy, not really bothered by Munchkin here. Speaking of unbothered, oh, this man.
Jesus Christ.
Nasty with it. This is against pistols though, so this won't be in the highlight reel. But it will be the 10th for EDG.
Wow.
An answer back from T1, and we need it quick. 6 rounds separating them. They didn't even stack up orbs. I'm not even sure who took the second outside arcade here, so nothing to latch on onto in terms of the first ult cycle. I mean, it looks good.
There you go, 10. Thank you for the alert.
Good setup for EDG.
That scared me, actually.
I saw a Bucky for a second. He opted against it. Unfortunate.
Well, what's unfortunate is Munchkin solo on the other side of this, outside of Arcade. Kang looks like he might just play a deeper position here off the net.
Okay.
Ton of information from Chi-Chu.
Can they deal with it though? T1 will be outgunning them here, but already Chi-Chu actually going to connect well. And it's how long to swing! Oh, this is tragic from T1. Crumbling under the pressure from EDG. You've got a boatload of upgrades now, and Munchkin is left reeling off of that.
So, whether or not he can catch the timing here on the first, yes, but 4 left to find. Chi-Chu down to 10 HP. Nobody, though.
His timing on
the
these
reflank,
flanks.
yeah.
He's such a little rat the way he plays. It's so good. Look at him. There's no way you get around it. That's a rifle, a nice little reward for him as well. And EDG are just playing a much better game here. T1 look hesitant. They're not looking like they did before. They haven't had that spark to ignite them yet. Conversion of the bonus here has just made matters worse.
Yeah, so Chi-Chu even stands his crown versus ban, where he's almost like isolated.
Enemy remaining.
The EDG is so much happier to absorb these side hits, and it's not even a scrap. It's just EDG swing all at the same time, and T1 are overwhelmed. They haven't got any tangibles. There's no comfort in terms of finding an engagement towards any player of EDG.
Yeah, and look, I think we've noted this from that first time they met up. When EDG are playing, you know, out of this world, we'll absolutely give them credit. But we have to also identify that T1 looks very flat here. Not having that same capability we saw in those first matchups, even that little bit of a spark against NRG, for example. They just look a little out of this game, not looking ready for this map at all. And I hate going to those intangibles of confidence, momentum. It's such, you know, wishy-washy phrasing, but I mean, EDG have it in droves, apparently. Whatever it is, they're confident, they're playing together, they are completely and utterly outdoing T1. This hasn't been a competitive game.
I mean, let's not forget as well that there was a map in that NRG series where it was on the back of ban. It was T1 were only still in the map because of ban.
Yes.
It was very top-heavy in here. Unfortunately, we haven't really got anybody from T1 standing tall in terms of the numbers, in terms of visible impact in some of these rounds. Unfortunately, an 8-4 half, we didn't see an early response here from T1. Will force a purchase here. Gaps in utility, 4 Bulldogs.
Gaps in armor.
Yeah.
Oh, this uncomfortable watching if you're a T1 fan. And this matchup just not quite delivering to the same expectation. Again, credit to EDG in that regard. They are playing beyond expectation, I guess. But T1, I want to see more from them.
Gonna run it down here.
Yep, looks pacey. Van quickly gonna make his way through sand. Oh, lovely start. That's the beginning. Is he gonna wake up here? Nobody's gone down as well. This is much better from T1. Pacey, filled with intent. And EDG left with 2, Chi-Chu and Haodong. Looking at Chi-Chu's positioning here, don't think he's gonna be able to get anywhere near enough in time to make any problems for that plant, but that's a shot, hold on. We're down to a 2v2 now. Van making this look almost worrying for T1 with him falling. Oh dear, what is going on? Munchkin traded back out on 1v1 now. Chi-Chu up against Munchkin. Chi-Chu getting a little closer here. Munchkin waiting. Gonna hear these steps, gonna note those shots. He waits, he better hit this shot. Chi-Chu closing the gap now, the tag! And he's got him!
Chi-Chu spams the pre-fire and then swings onto it. I think Munchkin even eats a headshot on that first spam.
It looks like it. Oh dear. And that was the best round we'd had yet. I thought that could have been the instigating round that maybe got
Pace
them
change looked beautiful for T1.
confident, powerful to it. Oh.
Yeah.
You take them when you get them.
And the one thing EDG don't need in this map so far is freebies like that.
Yeah.
The coin flips going their way as well.
Oh dear. Operator out. How much is in the tank for T1?
Looking to continue with this pace, looking to pinch on that side here, but Kang in the backlines, he's found Munchkin. Look at where that kill is.
I know, I just said how far? Has he gone exploring for this? T1 looking to try and be aggressive on it, but EDG still holding so much of that territory. How long going to send Carpe away? Sire players, Zeta and Ban are the only 3 alive. And it's for more for how long than anything. Kang is on the hunt. He wants blood. He's out for it. Ban puts him to bed, but it's all on Ban. And
Wow.
it's all but done. EDG storm through map 1.
That's nuts.
For T1, they are going to need to wake up. Take a second or two, walk away backstage, take some fresh air here because they cannot perform like that. EDG have turned up like they want that playoff spot. Like it means the world to them because it does. They have fought so hard to get here and they're now one map away.
Playing like they're worthy of it here today as well. You come out onto this stage with a rematch and embarrass T1 like that in the opening map. And you got to feel good about coming into Haven if you're EDG.
It's like super quiet. I hate it. Hold on, wait. Whoops. Wait. Feel sick. Oh, my knee hurts. Holy fuck. Ugh. Alright. Okay.
결국 다음 게임을 잡으면 되니까 그런 멘탈적인 그런 준비 그거를 가장 우선시하고 있습니다. So
every round there's gonna be mistakes and things that we overlook. So we have to patch up errors and trial and errors and develop our skills and gameplay according to that. And there may be some mistakes and things that we cannot control, but we have to overlook that as well and try to improve ourselves throughout the round.
Yeah, well, you know, I've had the pleasure of seeing those boys kill it across a variety of different games, and I have no doubt that they could turn it around. Looking forward to seeing what you can do in map 2. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you very much, GB. In map 2, they don't have a choice here, Mimi. They have to turn this around, otherwise they're going home.
It's going to be difficult to do so, though. EDG right now are on a 7-0 win streak thus far this year on Haven. It is their home map. It's one where they beat T1 last time they played, and T1 honestly looked out of ideas.
What are they playing? Haven?
Just pushing through mollies, trying to go for these executes, and not having a fallback plan that we've been able to see from them in other matches.
Well, let's have a look at the Prime Gaming agent select.
Wow,
Kakuko,
I guessed.
I don't expect any changes here.
No, I think that in this moment of the competition, especially for the match that we have today, where one of these teams is going to go home, and maybe it's T1 if they don't manage to find this win on Haven. We don't expect changes on the map because, you know, this happened, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah, it was super recent, so you don't have a lot of time to re-prep. For T1, the question is, can they rally? Their defensive side is definitely the weaker one. They struggled on that one a little bit yesterday, and EDG are really solid on this. This is another map where they're oftentimes putting a lot of emphasis on Kung, allowing him to play those extremities alone and then come back in the mid-round to go for these fast executes.
Some people might think, hey, I'm not a fan of Cypher here on this map just because we see a lot of Killjoy, but for Chicho is something different. He's definitely a force to be reckoned.
A very dominant start for EDG. They are one map away from making playoffs, Pansy and Hypark. I cannot believe that I'm saying that.
I get what you mean, but we have to be honest here. T1, they looked flat on map 1, and now my worries continue here into map 2. If anything, this was the map that probably defined them the most. There was a bit of a, I guess, disparity in that regard.
Yeah, there was, and again, it varied by the half preference. Obviously, T1 leaned heavily towards retake setups, and I actually believe they didn't win a single round on defense where the spike wasn't planted and diffused. So, again, very telling if they're able to kind of play damage control, but you need to see some sort of, I guess, advantage here coming out of the first half in terms of the scoreline, because the second half, again, I would summarize it the same way that we just saw map 1 from T1. They were absent.
They absolutely were. EDG, though, primed in playoffs form, looking good as collective. Every single one of them having impact. It's time for T1 to turn up. It's time to go home. Start out, it will be T1 on that defending side, but feeling a little confident, trying to look down middle, but already noted there will be players watching.
Well, actually, Spike, I'm going to deny further progress down mid. There could have been a big push for T1. Glancing back very quickly towards A side, but EDG stacked up outside this as well.
Smokes are in. Skunk. T1, I'm looking to see if they try and maybe go ahead of this. They are trying, and Smoggy says no. Going to take down one. Kunkung's there as well. A couple of trades come back through.
Ban though.
He still stands. Down to 21 HP, but he's still breathing, but only for a moment longer. Oh, T2, come on! The Red Bull clutch to kick it off. A little bit of hope for T1, but only for a moment as EDG rip it away.
Heroics from Ban to come out and find 2 here. Chichu finally shows his hand.
Down A.
See here, Ban's expecting the lurk to come back through spawn. A little bit of a misread, and Chichu makes him pay for it.
I just realized I was playing my music the whole time.
3 Bulldogs to work with.
Whoops.
3DG.
My fucking finger hurts.
T1 looking curious towards A lobby. Messiah try and get something done here with the Sheriff. Won't be noted just yet.
He wants a fight. Wants a bit of a brawl here. Gets the timing. Just a tag, but he gets it back as well.
Takes a ton of damage.
Still trying to posture up here. Got to be careful though, because he's getting more than a response he'd want. Let's fall away from this now. 1 minute left.
EDG looking to re-clear this space as well. The drone will come through. Will pave the way for Kankang to dig a little deeper here. Good timing on the dart though from Zeta.
They're running down the clock pretty well here, T1. Trying to force EDG into one of these sites very late. It's a bit of a gamble. T1 deciding they want to lean towards C, but we can see it. EDG opting for that A take. Only one's going to be here. Should be able to call in the cavalry, but
give me 1 second.
Ban on shorty as well, so this retake going to be very difficult to get something done there. Doesn't have any smokes up yet either, so no chance even really to pop out here with the. Oh, they might even just go dry here with no smokes. Oh, Ban will put one towards short though.
Okay, trying to limit some options. Nobody getting played in with how long as well. Lovely little crossfire here. Smoggy does go down. And T1 looking to see if there's any other options. I don't think they're going to be given anything through CT. Yeah, EDG going to safely cross out towards long. You noted it at the start though, there was a lot of Bulldogs there, so they don't want to be making any sort of fumbles. They're not going to be overly chasing. T1 just going to have to go.
Yo, Reina, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate yourself personality-wise?
That's a weird fucking question. Probably like a 7.
That's not very, like, hopeful.
Why?
I was just curious.
Self-love is important.
Self-love is the best love.
I've never got asked that before. That caught me so off guard. Like a 7. Like, because like, honestly, it's mainly because I know that with my mental health right now, I could be in a better place. Oh, we about to get deep, chat. We about to get deep. I rate myself a 7 because I feel like there's a lot of things that I could improve on. And I like to always have room for improvement. Like, I don't want to always say that I'm the best I can be when I know I can improve. I also wanted to say a 7 mainly because, like, there's things I want to work on and I know I'm going to work on within the new year, especially the moment I get to Korea. And so it's like, that's why I said a 7.
How many? There we go. Oop.
Who you aiming at?
Oh, it's very funny. It's very funny with also.
Not gonna lie though, Fox, when you were aiming at me at one point.
Was I?
Yes, I went completely silent when you were aimed at me. I was like, shit.
Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious. Oh, I'm flirting with a girl. Oh my. Yeah. That's a bird. Wow.
You should have said that.
Robin's cheating, guys. Robin's totally cheating.
You literally gave it up where you were. Literally gave it up though by saying that. Oh, that was
Richie wants to flirt with a
But how did you know that is where?
Because that was one of the first things I did when I was the outlaw, was talking to a girl. You go back and watch the VOD. Go back and watch the VOD. It was.
So Foxton's by Robin. Right, I see.
No, 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 no! You didn't see me! You did not see me! That's bullshit! This game is bullshit! I didn't know you were there! Hello, goodbye!
Wouldn't be here. I didn't know how.
A little out of it. as EDG close to third now.
Just seconds, Aita shows his hand there. But even in the chaos, he turns the flash. He's superhuman.
Oh my gosh, hi Jones. Sorry, I was doing something.
After this event, depending how far EDG go.
Still love you. Why does this clip make me want to cry? OMG, wow. Hi Joan.
Yeah, there's a reputation to be made from that man. Already certainly a highlight. For now though, we see the operator out for Sire, so that's something. Does he get anything for it here? Challenges on the other side. EDG, 3 players, make it the 4th, already down in towards Sewer. He's trying to stand his ground here. That's a brave play considering. Zeta going to post the Hunter's Fury to try and dissuade this approach, but they're ahead of it. Sire player out of the dash now as well. Kung closing in. Sire player, great connection. Takes down the threat. And now operating with 4. Chichu might become it. Keep in mind, he's been filthy so far, 7-0.
This will reveal, actually, that T1 are looking to rotate away from this. Interesting enough, EDG looking to thread the needle, find their way onto B site.
How did he get out of that?
Position they've already been able to gain.
Yeah, Smoggy's drifted onto A.
Yeah, the smoke's going to come from kind of downtown, but he's got all that space here, so if they try and play back in, the only threat is through Heaven.
T1 are so paranoid, they're scrambling to try and pick back up some control.
It's on Sire player to try and...
Disgusting lurk from Haldong as well.
Oh, he's opting to go all the way around CT too. Yep. In case it wasn't already looking rough, it's going to get a whole lot worse.
Hey, He's going to get wallbanged.
The second that dart went up. And look at Haldong. Spots 1, spots 2. And he's pulled it. Gonna find Ban. Knows where Carpe is. Paranoia's gonna go through as well, so Carpe can't even try and trade it. And he's just costing them so much time. They're smothering him now. He's got support in this. It's not just Haldong alone. Smoggy's come around too. They fancy a bit of it. Zeta might be able to try and keep his teammates safe here. Yeah, he is. Okay. But the time. EDG getting a little audacious in the plays. Nobody going hunting too. He wants to take these weapons away. He's done very well for 1. The operator will be staying though. And EDG make it to a 4th.
Desperate to try and give Sire a tool here in the next round. Some ultimates starting to come online for T1. Rolling Thunder and Bladestorm available. Ban does have his TP. Yeah, the fact that it's Munchkin that falls first, the neural theft comes through. EDG just have total control. And they look to exploit that.
T1 timeout, I imagine. Waiting for confirmation on that, pretty certain. Yeah, there it is. So T1, try and pump the brakes here. Outside of what
Jesus.
Saw come in, there was base. I
made the same comment in the first map. The rounds that T1 win, it doesn't feel sustainable. That was the bonus, if you recall, where even so, everyone fell. They were on a hard eco afterwards. And unfortunately, an early first blood here for Sire, but it equates to nothing.
I'm a little...
I love being sick.
I just want something to go right for them.
I feel like absolute trash.
Win, whatever it is, I want them to have a round.
Did it stop raining?
So out of it.
Stopped raining.
It's great to see EDG in this sort of form and control, obviously, but it's...
Well, the concern being, I mean, last time, like I said, T1 needed a lead in this first half for me because second half of Haven was when the cracks started to show and, you know, utility wasn't being used in the early round. Kang was just running away with things on EDG's defensive side. So if EDG come out with a round lead here and a buffer, it's terrifying. T1 have to completely overhaul the way they played the second half of Haven last time.
This round, I'm kind of eyes towards Sire player. Does he get a moment to even have influence towards this round? It looks like a bit of a deeper hold coming out from EDG. Slower exploration towards Garage, and proactive approach over towards A long from T1. So if anything, kind of funneling EDG in towards that C site.
So yeah, to try and play
into Sire.
Op anchor here on C site. We'll get some sound cues. Very deep clearance here with the drone.
But if T1 overpush this, they'll just spin back in towards A. And well, they've pretty much taken them all down. Trades there.
Holy shit.
Sire player, what do you have? 50 seconds to play with, 3 to collect on. They are taking that A site.
As I say, Chichu with some space to work with, and get the benefit of the timing as well. And these are the heartbreaking kills.
This is soul destroying if he doesn't turn. He has had a second fall of it. Finds Chichu and it's game on.
Hey,
A 1v2.
time to play with here as well.
Spike only going down now. Gonna pop the blades as well. Nobody on site. One tuck towards Graffiti. That's gonna be how long does he check? Side blades tries.
He doesn't check.
Seems a little short-sighted, a little frustrated, and EDG unfazed.
Burning up the blade storm and giving away the operator. We'll be able to repurchase, yes, but
Careful.
I think you're right. A little bit frustrated there with the approach. Maybe also thinking, you know, the pass coming through. There's a deep lurk from Chichu. Maybe they've just sent somebody to plant on the opposite side of the map, catch them off guard, but EDG, everything except the neural theft at their disposal now. And firmly in control of Haven once again.
This has to be a swing round for T1. Good purchase, couple of nice ults, operator out. What does EDG do with this as well, right? They've got their own ults to play with. They've obviously got a fair crack of money too. And Chichu's presence through Garage has been problematic to say the least. A nuisance by all variety, but we do see that Killjoy setup there. So Tara's going to be in position. And Munchkin going the long way around.
Good damage taken from Kankang actually.
He's hunting though. He's feeling aggressive, feeling deadly. Looking almost to kind of fall towards the side. Ban going to note the player towards the back of the side, but look at the pressure on this man. So many things to be worried about. Munchkin trying to at least help him out somehow. Chichu does go down, but it's just going to be chaotic on the site now. Nobody looking around, takes a little bit of a glance, can't quite find Ban. Gets a little closer, but the crossfires are coming in, just keeping him at bay. Zeta connects. Kankang in the back line, still lingering around by Garage. Finally decides to take a little look towards the site because they're holding onto this Ban.
Oh, Ban, that.
That's gonna be enough here. The last two players make it one. Need a whole lot. This could be a big round for T1. Can they keep three alive? Double swing. Yes, they can.
Jesus Christ, it's over. What the fucking Odin?
This time around, T1 mitigating a lot of that risk. They play deeper and deeper, but concern being now if EDG lean heavily into that, the T1 are happy to concede space. First time really they followed through off of Munchkin's utilities. Well, actually, Rolling Thunder didn't catch Ban. I thought it did. Saw him catch a kill on the kill feed off screen, but a lapse of concentration there from Smoggy.
Right here.
Big switch up from Munchkin here, actually. It's the alarm bot down towards sewers.
I mean, EDG's A-takes have been pretty solid. Wouldn't be surprised if they lean back into it.
I mean, with the lockdown available. Yeah. They rotate him across here, but does still have Carpe alongside him. Maybe looking for a contact play off the turret or the alarm bot with the Rolling Thunder. There's only two of them here.
The gap between is quite substantial too. Side player going to be sitting towards B. See if he finds anything. He's not. Swing.
Killed by the dart.
Yeah.
Completely wasted.
No value off it. Time, I guess, is the only thing that they get, but that's a very slim reward.
But very quickly now, you can see the call is made to drift back towards a retake. Information gathered off the TP from Ban.
Right there.
They don't want to over-rotate. They've been conditioned to be paranoid about those flanks. You can see it now. Hunter's Fury going to be posted to try and clear through. Nobody. Not going to find what he wants here. Nice denial, though. 28 seconds, finding it hard to filter towards that A site. There's still players to clear through, and Munchkin was one of them, and he's fallen. So maybe it's game on. Sire player finds the shot he needs, backs away, doesn't lose life. Trade comes in. It's on the form of Carpe falling. 3v4 now. And suddenly EDG taking the fight to them. 13 seconds. Zeta and Ban, how much can you do to deny this? Paranoia sent, but they can't deny the plant going down. No big chip damage to report. Out on Yes took damage earlier, but that's about it. Ban trying to filter his way forward as already his teammate falls.
Oof.
It's not worth the value on this. They're just finding nothing.
I thought T1 were very quickly resorting back to a retake here, but Munchkin stays on site. Very peculiar. As him to take first contact here. Look at the space. Where's the second swing there?
Even EDG were looking for it. They were waiting for it.
Because before this, the fault line sent down long. It slows them down, yes, but then Munchkin has nothing to help him out. All of his utils gone. Carpe's burnt up his util. And there were bodies in place there to swing at the same time.
And the only man who can make the difference would be side player here. Rifle, the only investment, everyone else on sheriff's odds and ends. And obviously full, very healthy purchase for EDG. Kang taking the space over towards Long as well. Clearing out by the box, but already see the positioning double stacked up towards Suat. EDG not in a particular hurry. They have everything they need to work late into these rounds.
T1 are so scared of Chichu's position and where his utility is that there's just no proactivity on this defensive half. I mean, they're very rarely even challenging for A lobby. Munchkin.
Nice.
He does benefit there from the cage dropping.
Okay, but can they hold against this? Not with that amount of information. Look at it. Oh, it's devastating. The control comes out as Carpe falls, leaving side players still maybe an unknown quantity, but they seem all too aware of it. Nobody the first to try and find that information, and he wins the fight. EDG have the side to their own. The last two players feeling irrelevant to the outcome as Kang is holding them back. You want a chance to the side, you got to get past this man. And he ain't letting you through. Nothing going to be happening. EDG fully in control here. This team wants playoffs, and they're not far from it now.
Big gap. 5 rounds separates them here on Haven. It's another example. I talked about this in map 1. How quickly EDG react. See this first blood, immediately the switch is flipped.
Still a buy for T1. Still they are running on fumes here.
Well, first time, I was mentioning it last round, first time we've actually seen T1 challenge towards A lobby. A little deeper here on a buy round. Sire posted up, rifle in hand, Carpe to support. This time around, EDG not positioned here though. Well, as nobody comes back.
Oh.
Might even just clear this with the drone, yeah.
Heard the steps. And now what do you do with this one? Carpe save him? Okay, yeah, maybe you can. Draws out the Hunter's Fury as well.
I guess nothing for it.
Oh, no! That's just going to be devastating. Oh, come on! Kang is just too good at this game. Ban's dead in the blink of an eye. The other 3 a million miles away. You can already see it. Chichu's already up into garage. This is
It's
brutal.
the fear, it's the paranoia again though. Off the owl drone, they're desperate to try and find I don't want to say a cheesy kill, but a freebie off the Hunter's Fury to potentially play Sire in. And just like that, the blink of an eye, EDG find 2 kills elsewhere. It's so rough for T1.
Oh, he's just walking through them. He is walking through them. They look scared. T1 look terrified. And I don't really blame him when you got the beast up against you. This guy is absolutely unreal. But again, it hasn't just been that solo show from him. We've had a great performance from Chichu here as well. Those lurks have put the fear of God in T1. They look absolutely mentally boomed in this right now. EDG drastically outclassing T1. They're going to need every single round remaining, and there's not many to go spare.
Fadeaway shots like that.
Grounded.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, what do you do against a team that's this volatile? Like I said, so quick to react. You even hear the slightest hint of a stack towards A. The pendulum swing towards C, executed perfectly by EDG. Adjustment here, they're going to put Sire play in towards Garage. Now Munchkin tasked with holding down, anchoring that A site. Lockdown available. The thing is, with no exploration from T1 this half, there's not really anything that indicates what their default looks like. I mean, they've barely even pushed out and dealt with the spy cam in a single round that I can think of. Chichu has all the information across the map. And EDG just running rampant with it.
Look how close they are. He's so far ahead of even that dart that just came in. Yeah, not going to be hindered by utility. He wants to fight towards the backside. This time, though, T1 actually going to fall away from this. Still a little bit deeper towards CT. depend on that lockdown. Should give him a bit of run, but look who's hunting!
Oh my god!
Dunkirk's here! And he wants more! He's gonna chase him around the map. He's still going. Does it land?
I was
It
going to say,
does.
the shock and the aftershock's going to deal with the lockdown.
And now you got problems galore. 4v4 and you got to make your moves now. You got to try and get towards the side. He is here, standing his ground. Does eventually fall down to Munchkin. It's back down to a 3v3, but the time's still ticking. The Paranoia finds nothing. Nobody on the reposition. It's just gorgeous work. On the drop down, and that is not nobody there to greet him with a
Dude,
smile.
T1's getting their asses kicked right now.
Away with the game.
Amimu made this as well. Every single one of these EDG players is good for a multi-kill here and there. A 3K or 4K, whenever it's needed. And like I said, there's freedom for EDG to set up here that the lockdown that is literally the cornerstone of T1's game plan in this round amounts to nothing. Kang is 18-6 on this half so far.
And he didn't have that blistering start like he did before, but you can see it every round there's value. I have another one.
Oh, he knows where you are now, Carpe.
Terrified. They are terrified, and rightly so. Yeah, run away. Run away while he still can. I wouldn't want to face him right now. Confidence sky high for the man. This is his map.
Here.
Does anyone want to try it? Okay. He's still going to carry on forward. Be it a Marshall, be it the operator, doesn't really matter. Maybe a shorty to add to injury. No, Munchkin this time stands tall. Who's got the multi-kills from EDG here, though?
What the fuck? Running gun with the bulldog.
Leaving nobody in Howdong. The others try and handle this. Munchkin getting that defused. Oh, Howdong's there! And now down to the 1v1.
Wow.
Nobody breaks them in two.
They're getting their booties clapped. Their booties are being clapped.
Playoffs just within touching distance now, Mike.
T1 just looked boomed after that map one. It's been hesitant, it's been scared. This entire
Dude,
half, they haven't
10-10-1.
wanted to challenge EDG. They've allowed them to set up and Kang to just continue pushing so deep and playing contact with an operator time and time again. Like I said, there's been so few rounds, I mean none actually, where Chichu...
Hold on. I want to say hi to my friend. Streaming.
Okay.
You have to leave. I think all three here.
Yeah.
Fake rotate.
Like Bromo's here. There's like one or two here.
We're going back.
Honestly, we hit through it.
Obscuring vision.
Never mind. Reyna's down there.
Go B, go B, go B, go B.
Run, Forrest, run.
Taking that back. 30 seconds left.
He has all.
God.
Prepare for hellfire! Oh, he missed.
One enemy remaining.
That guy's crazy. What the?
Just went for it, bro.
We'll catch them. Where are you? Bring them down.
Oh, it's so far. Oh, I saw him in the mini map.
Our Reyna is none of them in two-player. Tell you that much.
Not really.
Might as well
Hi,
give it.
Wobbin.
He has a
God, ladies
black-
and men, she's not.
Where's
She
black
is
player?
not.
There's like
I'm
flat
just
players better than
trying to.
us.
I am trying to do my part. That's it. I'm just trying to do my part.
I don't know. We got bodied by Reyna last time.
One's
Pushing
close.
up.
One's close. Yeah.
I should have baited it.
Get an extra kill under your belt.
Get closer to my ult.
Not even, Robin, not even.
Alright, rush B.
Looks for a target. No one's showing. Checks graffiti, finds it, dips. Whoa! It's all good. 3 alive. T1 back in the game.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yep.
Well,
Easy.
they need to improve their previous performance versus EDG. Was 1 round last time, but the pistol definitely the crucial one with this scoreline. Is that enough to get them back online? A mountain to climb to get back into Haven here.
Round by round. But I still get terrified of seeing him just go and walk about, just taking a little bit of space, deciding what to do with it. We've got a 3-play stack over towards A as well. Pretty cheap. Again, this round they do only really walk in with that Sheriff that's in Kangkang's hands. Otherwise, that's going to be classic. So if T1 go through their due diligence, they should be fine. Clear as they go. You can see the caution being shown here, obviously being...
Respect being shown.
Yeah, just terrified. Mostly of him.
Looking to now regroup back towards C. Kangkang looked like he almost responded to an audio cue there.
Heard it, maybe. He's going to be watching through from Garage. He held back for now. How long does that smoke last? Okay, a little bit of info. Chichu's got Sire player. They're not getting the access. Oh, God! Zeta's got 1! Okay, he's got down. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. This is totally fine. 33 seconds is definitely a little dangerous. But it's dealt with. T1. All good. 3 alive, 3 rifles. No worries.
Yeah, luckily holding on to the crucial inventory. And one thing last time EDG was so good at is not just leaving Chichu to anchor a site, but just leaving his utility. Yeah. They were so happy to explore elsewhere, get a pick on the extremity, and then end up back on the site where Chichu's investment is.
I need a drop.
To get right for the, I was going to say, Carpe will pick up a Bulldog here in T1 with some difficult decisions to make, obviously, in terms of the economy due to the scoreline. They're looking to continue to pressure here towards A lobby.
Still need to be careful on the way in. You can see them trying to go through all of those corners, clear everything in front of them.
Smoggy's still set up here for a stun. Kangkang almost with a sixth sense here. Reading a couple of players of T1 backed into the corners, but doesn't get any damage and forced back by the drone.
Yeah, nobody Smoggy and Kangkang all here. They're leaving B, basically kept safe by a trap and a little bit of a passive hold by Haodong. T1 walking into quite the stack of players here. Sire player better be good for it, and he goes. First man found, clears out 1. Looks for the follow-up, not going to happen. Hold by nobody. Smoggy with the swing. Takes down Sire player, but there's still Smoggy on the side, but overwhelmed. T1 doing nicely here. A 2v3 is not impossible, though. Paranoia gets sent now. They can't really get ahead of that smoke, so Carpe playing by Graffiti is in a pretty powerful position here until...
Wait, Zeta?
Huh?
The smoke dropped.
Seemingly completely unaware. Ban saving the day there, Mike. That felt like they were about to fumble it.
I'm not sure if Zeta thought he had a couple more seconds on that, but the smoke falls and he's punished as he's trying to tuck back into that short cubby. And so T1 convert the 3rd. Is a comeback on the cards. Actually, sorry, I think even spotting there on the dash. Very diligent on the entry. Ban luckily gets that instant headshot on the double swing. Shuts any hope down.
They go for an instant timeout from EDG. Come on. I mean...
Scary if they want to switch something up now.
We did talk about them kind of looking to bring in like a different style almost, right? We saw on map 1 it being a little bit more patient, a little bit more refined, not as, you know, high tempo, high explosive, still as volatile as ever, sure, but a a little bit of a different look. Now I wonder what EDG do on this. They have options. Obviously, though, they've kind of had a couple of investments here and there as well. Losing out on that bonus is rough too. That's going to put them in a little bit of a predicament. That can close up the scoreline a little bit. And they don't have any ults to lean on. No massive amounts of progress, obviously, with everyone in tow. So, I wonder what EDG do with this. Maybe just going to make sure they don't allow this team to open up that window of chance for T1.
So last time, obviously heavily reliant on Kankan getting on that operator nice and early. And that was when T1 barely got a look in. Yes. Again, started running away with the early rounds. The utility misinvestment from T1 time and time again, conceded a lot of map control. He's here, it's free on the bounce. How far can they take this now? Anticipating a little bit of aggression coming out of that timeout. 3 stingers and a sheriff, so no.
Okay.
I was going to say, no freedom here for T1. They've got to play this carefully.
I guess they can afford a couple of these rounds, but interesting to see how long they live with this. Again, probably a good choice from T1 to just go for the C-take, feels safe. Well,
getting ahead of it.
Yep. Lost a bit of that timing on it now. They could re-address this. They could re-pressure.
Oh, that was a good stretch.
Take towards the side, but EDG have all 5 players here waiting. Let's see how this pressure looks though. Munchkin gonna deal with the first. Chichu goes down. Kankan gets towards the site, spots out the players, but again, still working with stingers. It ain't gonna be enough. Carpe overwhelms, but Smoggy to do the damage, leaving it a 3v2. Only down to Smoggy and T1 weathering the storm here.
Well handled. I was saying, a little bit of a misplacement here on some of the utility on the way back in, but only stingers, only sheriffs. EDG probably just looking to chip away a little bit, take away, or force a couple of repurchases here with a stinger of rounds now in favor of T1. And a big advantage in terms of the old cycle, in terms of what's available off the rip here. Rolling Thunder, Blade Storm, 2 off the lockdown.
Kankan's got the operator though.
Yeah, that's...
and he's going sewer. Does he? How far does he take that, do you reckon? I mean,
last time T1 were incapable of shutting this down.
Yes.
And they conceded a number of first deaths on the back of it. Reading into it potentially, though. It's actually, yeah, the alarm bot's posted up here to prevent a flank coming through.
It's a test of Howdong then instead. Side player going to lead the way. The paranoia was good. I don't think they noticed that it actually connected very, very well. Plays in Howdong just perfectly. Side player, a little bit of a fumble there. Smokey to make the most of that as well. Gets the trade. Oh, Kung as well. Connects on towards Zeta, leaving Munchkin in a rough situation. Made worse with that operator rattling through his chest as EDG up to 11. The corner, checked or not, made so much of a difference in that one round.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking that Howdong's actually not spotted here, because the paranoia is perfect.
Right.
But you can see what Saya has to do. There's so much for him to clear. T1, I think, make the right decision here. They continue pushing.
What is he doing? He's so stupid.
Superstar in the making, isn't he? 22-11. He's putting on a show. Theatric shot in and out of the server. And I think he's getting a little confident, a little cocky. Getting that first hit in that second half. And they're getting aggressive down towards long. It looked like T1 were prepared for this before. This time around, are they ready for what's on the way? Oh God, the headhunter himself, he's here. He's gonna keep going on this one too. Gets a little closer. Just around that corner. 3 players. Was baited in, toyed in, teased in, he still gets the kill! Howdong is there with a ban, tries to do everything he can, still does the damage, Chichu comes back around, and EDG all too prepared for this. Munchkin once again left here, alone. Desolate, so few options. Oh, adding insult to injury, isn't it? What are you meant to do? Got 3 to clear. Stunned up. 38 seconds. Even the turret's not on his side at this point. Can he isolate one of these? First, yes. Trying to look for that swing. Chichu held off. The second!
What the fuck, Munchkin?
Where he was. And he waits. He waits.
That timing.
Heartbreak! As Chichu timed it so well. And the moment Munchkin moved away, EDG make it to 12.
I mean, that's the best way to sum up some of the rounds in this series. What a beautiful collapse, though, from EDG. And Chichu's so deep on C long. Beautifully coordinated. Another example of just total freedom across the map. 3 members of T1 stacked up, backs against the wall in spawn. Heartbreaking.
This one's going to sting for T1. 6 to 12, yes, there's still chance. There's still, you know, moments where you see the confidence. Mike, you see it every time that cam's on these players. They're starting to become showmen. They're starting to, you know, get the fans going, get the people going, get in the faces, get into the heads of T1 as if they needed that. T1 looked shattered from that first map. Left in pieces throughout this game. EDG mean in the way they're playing. T1 need a miracle now. Well, they need something more than that. Blade Storm there for Kang as well. 5 behind it for everyone else. And it's a scrappy purchase for T1. And it looks like an all-out brawl here.
Not sure if T1 even just pop off the spawn barrier here. Looks like it might be a stun set up.
He wants to fight it though. He wants to fight it! Takes side player down to barely anything. Left alive on 15. There's a message to the others, do not come to this site, and they dare go forward. He waits. Tucked in the corner though, dealt with by that. Oh!
Oh shit.
Further ahead, Tata's still standing. Smoggy's there though. They walk through the smoke to their slaughter. Paranoia sent EDG massacring T1. Until then, it's Chichu trying to do something.
GG, dude.
Confirms it. T1
Wow.
slaughtered by EDG.
A terrifying performance here from EDG.
Wow.
On that previous success.
That was really good from EDG though.
And everyone stepping up here. Kang, the headline, sure, but this is a scary roster.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Right,
They
right
did
in that
very
wave,
well.
Lauren, honestly.
Every team in the playoffs
Nice.
want to avoid.
Excuse me, sorry. I hate being sick. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, my back just popped 4 times going to one side. Ugh, there we go. Okay. Nice. Okay. Think I might go to bed. Go to bed? Go to bed, bitch. It's fucking 5 p.m. The fuck? Take a nap? I could take a nap. I could do that. Sounds really nice. Actually, taking a nap sounds nice. Nice. Or just chill here for a bit and vibe. Okay, sorry. I just really like this song. I need to start streaming at like normal times though for like America. Which is like, I mean, like, I gotta get up at like 7 a.m. 7 a.m.? My reaction to thinking about having to get up at 7 a.m. Because 7 a.m. is 5 p.m. in America. I guess I should start getting up at 7 a.m. then. And start actually trying to play games and start doing shit and actually stream more. I mean, I'm used to my schedule now. It's not like I have a rough schedule. I mean, like, I probably would not stream at 7 a.m. on Mondays and Tuesdays. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, I would probably not stream at 7 a.m. Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Friday. Because Monday, Tuesday, Friday, I work until 10. So probably not Monday, Tuesday, Friday. But I can do it Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so now my next question is, I don't need no buddies, I don't need no buddies. I don't need no buddies, I don't need no buddies. I'm just a Game Boy. Okay, it depends on when they play. When DRX plays. DRX and Energy, because those are who I'm going for those champions for Masters Tokyo. DRX and Energy. She's a cheater, romance eater. Sick her teeth and tell you like you need her. She's a keeper till she leaves you. Okay, I will probably be on tomorrow at 7 a.m. my time, which is like 5 a.m. 5 p.m. America. I want to try and game tomorrow. Actually play some games. Actually stream. Actually be a streamer. Okay, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go take a fucking nap. And I'm probably gonna try and clean my apartment a little bit because it's kind of messy. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.
Tell you think you need her. She's a keeper till she leaves you. She break your heart in someone else's t-shirt.